Hey family, welcome to my channel, Healing for Destiny. If this is your first time joining, welcome. God uses me on this channel to impact, to influence, empower, and to equip women into their healing journey. The process that He's taken me through, the things that He's shown me in my journey and my healing, He uses me here on this channel to help other women with self-confidence, inner healing, breaking free from these spirits of rejection, these things that have happened in your past, the heartbreak, the pain, these broken identities. He especially uses me to help women like me, who have gone through the same painful experiences as me, like single motherhood, having gone through pregnancy alone, and just the things that I've gone through in my past, my traumatic experiences. He uses me and stretches me on this channel to help women just like me that are going through these same situations. And I hope that when you watch these videos on this channel, it's all about healing, it's all about overcoming, it's all about empowerment, it's all about knowing who you are, knowing your identity, knowing that you are valuable, knowing that you are worthy, knowing that God sees you, that you are a queen, knowing that you are valuable, knowing that you are worthy, knowing that you are enough. That's what God uses me for here on this channel, for you to know these things so that you can begin to walk into your divine destiny, to be able to heal from these things of the past so you can walk into the destiny that God has for you. Now, with that being said, we're going to get right into this video, this topic that God gave me today, y'all. It's all about ghosting. Have you ever been ghosted? Have you ever been ghosted? Now, here's the thing about, this topic of ghosting. Now, ghosting, it's a new age term, right? Like, that's like a new generation term of, being ghosted. But the thing about it, like, if we can be real about ghosting, it's not new at all. Like, from generations before, people have gone through ghosting experiences. And I know, like, when it comes to ghosting, when it comes to that topic and that term, a lot of the times when we think about ghosting, it's about, like, men ghosting women, men disappearing on women, in those situationships, relationships, whatever you want to call it. But ghosting, anybody can be ghosted. Even us as women, we ghost too. We can't sit up here and lie and say that we haven't just disappeared or ghosted. But for the sake of this video, obviously I'm talking about going through a situation where we have been ghosted by men, or you've been ghosted multiple times in your life. And God just wanted me to bring this topic because He has something to say about that experience that you have gone through, or experiences with ghosting. So we're going to dive right into it. Now, the thing about ghosting, and this is why God is using me to bring this topic, because, like, ghosting is a very painful experience. It's a lot of pain associated with that, because let's just think about ghosting. Let's just think about what ghosting is. Ghosting is like, literally, maybe you were in a relationship with somebody, or you had something going on with somebody, you thought that it was serious, or you were putting your all into this situation, and then this person, for whatever reason, like, they just left, they just disappeared. They never gave you any closure, they never said anything, they never gave you any explanation. And that can be heartbreaking, that can be gut-wrenching. And a lot of times, like, going through these ghosting experiences, you're left like feeling like it's something that you did. You're left internalizing these things. You're left feeling that, feeling that rejection, feeling that spirit of rejection. Like, man, what was it? What did I do? Like, why would they choose somebody else? Why would they just leave? I thought we had something going on. Like, and anybody can go through this. Like, you are not exempt from going through this. Like, a lot of women have literally gone through ghosting experiences. Like, my mom, for example, I remember my mom, she got ghosted from somebody that she was engaged to, and I remember, like, her talking about, like, with my mom, she had never gone through that. Just like me, I've never gone through that ghosting experience, which I'm about to talk about my experience. But I remember, like, my mom was saying she's never gone through anything like that, and, like, that hurt her. Like, that hurt her. This is somebody that she was engaged to, and he just disappeared out of nowhere, and it leaves wounds. It leaves those wounds of rejection. It leaves those wounds of, like, not feeling good enough, or questioning questioning your own self-worth and value. Like what's going on within me? Why would that person leave me? What's wrong with me? Asking yourself and looking at yourself and asking those questions. And I know, like with me, let me give my testimony really quick. And if you're new to my channel, I encourage you to go check out my earlier videos where I kind of bring my testimony and talk about my, my experiences and the things that I've gone through that has brought me to this point now to be on this platform, and why and how God is using me in my purpose because of my past and my background. But I know for me, just like my mom, ghosting was not something that I ever really went through in my life when I've dealt with men. Like, yeah, I've dealt with guys, and for a lot of those situations that I've gone through with guys, it's been like a mutual agreement. Like, it just didn't work out, it ended, we stopped talking, or I made it very clear that I didn't want to be involved in it anymore, or, it just kind of faded away, or it was evident that this isn't going to work. So that's that. But I had never been through a ghosting situation where somebody just like literally disappeared, especially something that I had hope in, or that I thought that it was something. And I went through that. My ghosting experience was actually with my son's father. So you can imagine like the hurt and pain behind that. Now, my ghosting experience, I didn't find out that I was pregnant until after I had been ghosted by my son's father. But at the time that I found out that I was pregnant, that's what added that extra layer of pain. It was already a painful experience because it was like, what? Like, what do you, like, what? It was already very, very painful. But that, me finding out that I was pregnant, it added that extra layer of pain and hurt and heartbreak. So I definitely know what it means and how it feels to be ghosted. And it's a very wounding experience. And I think that a lot of women, we don't really talk about this, because ghosting can be an embarrassing experience, to even talk about, to even tell people about that experience of being ghosted, because it's like abandonment. It's just a lot of negative. It's just like a negative experience and negative things surrounding ghosting in general. So I understand how it can be hard to accept that or want to talk about that. But we're gonna be real. We're gonna talk about this. We're gonna be raw. I'm gonna be transparent. And so, but God, this is what God is saying to you today about whatever ghosting experience that you have gone through. If it's been one, if it's something that you've been holding on to that you have not been able to let go, or even if you're somebody that finds yourself or have found yourself going through multiple ghosting experiences, like, this is what God has to say to you today. God is saying, first of all, this is what he's shown me in my journey, and this is what he told me to talk about on this video. First of all, if you have ever been ghosted, God is saying that was the best thing that could have ever happened to you. You have no idea that was the best thing that could have ever happened to you. God will literally show you the hearts and the spirits behind people. He will show you exactly what you need to see. And sometimes when things like this happen, it's good that it happened the way it happened. It was good that it happened in the time frame that it happened, so that you could avoid it making a mistake, so that you could have avoided, going down the wrong path. You could have saved yourself time and pain, because you never know what would have been on the other side of having not been ghosted, the things that you would have gone through, the things that the pain down the road, the experience down the road, these people that's not meant for us, these people that God blocked out of our lives. Like, you just never know. And sometimes God sees that. That's what God really has shown me in my journey. That's why God uses me so much on this channel to talk about rejection, because the devil uses rejection. He will have you in a chokehold behind the spirit of rejection, and not thinking that you're not good enough, and having faced this rejection in your life. And God is saying, it's good for me. It was good for me to block these things in your life over and over and over again. And so, sometimes like situations like this, with having been ghosted, you'll sit around and be in pain. Like, yes, it hurts. Yes, it's painful, but you don't even know like the heartbreak and the things that God saves you from behind it, behind the scenes, what he sees or what he saw that we didn't see and we didn't, you know what I mean? And what God's shown me in my journey that he really wants me to speak to somebody, encourage somebody about today, is a lot of times when we go through this heartbreak at the hands of men and these relationships, these things that didn't work out, God showed me that he will literally use these situations to expose these things on the inside of us that he wants to change and heal. Like he wants to heal you. He doesn't want you. See, here's the thing, like God, if you're going through a lot of like heartbreak and painful experiences, that saddens God. God doesn't want you to keep being hurt. He doesn't want you to keep going through these same cycles and patterns and, keep getting your heart break. God does not mean for you to keep being hurt or keep being broken your whole life. No, he wants to break you free from that. He wants you to know like who you are. He wants you to know your true identity. He wants you to look at yourself as a high regard, to know your value, to know your worth. And so sometimes God will put us in gut-wrenching situations. I'm talking about those painful, the lowest of the low, to the point where you down on the ground. You don't know how you about to get up out of it. I'm talking about heartbreak type situations. And I know, like for me in my journey, when I went through my ghosting experience and my testimony and my situation, and when I started going through my healing journey with God, and I started doing that work, I started doing that work and giving everything to God, started pulling up these wounds and these roots and all these things, God started showing me like, Ashley, you have literally treated yourself so cheaply in a lot of these situations. A lot of these men that you try to attach yourself to, even like just the things happening, these lies that you're believing of the enemy, these things that you believe about yourself, like you have no idea the value that's on the inside of you. You have no idea like the worth, like you are so worthy, you are so valuable, you are enough, and you don't know that. And I allow you to keep hitting your head. I allow a situation so big like this to have to hurt you and bring you to your knees, because I knew that once I finally put you in this situation, once I finally allowed your heart to be picked apart like this, it was going to put you in a position to where you're sitting down like, hold on, let me get to the bottom of this. Let me start addressing this. Let me start addressing these wounds. Let me start addressing these things that's going on the inside of me. So that's what God is saying about like your ghosting experience right now. Like if you have just been ghosted, or you still carrying on that wound from being ghosted, God is saying like, I want you to like take a step back and not look at the ghoster, not internalize these things about yourself. And I really want you to look at that situation, whatever it was that you went through, however it happened, however it went down. I want you to look at it as a way of me trying to expose these things in you, so that you can begin to heal, so that you can begin to stop treating yourself so cheaply, so that you can begin to know who you are, know this beauty that you have about yourself, know that you are worthy, know that you are more than enough. You know what I mean? No, like really knowing who you are, like no, like you, it's time. I put you through that situation because it's time for you to know, like, you're that girl, you're that woman, like your name holds weight. You don't know that, you don't understand that, or maybe you do know that, but you're not fully believing that. But I gotta take you through this situation. I gotta take you through this little thing, this little hurt and this heartbreak, because it's time for you to really understand that. It's time for you to really know that. It's time for you to really start to stop believing these lies of the enemy and know like who you are. You are a gem. You are a queen. You are royalty. You are from a royal priesthood. You are a child of God. Like all this beauty, y'all. This is what I'm saying about this journey and this process with God. Like, before, you know, my past, my testimony and all of that, the ways in which I like viewed myself, and I believed, and I fell into that spirit of rejection. I fell into that spirit of feeling like I'm not good enough and I'm not worthy for this and I can't have this. You know, God, I'm gonna be transparent with y'all right now. Like the devil had me in a headlock because of certain situations that I've gone through. The devil had me in the headlock, making me believe that I was like second best. Like these men that I've dealt with, they always choose somebody else over me. Like I'm, you know, like comparing myself, and I'm always gonna be like second best or something. And it's a lie, you know, obviously it's a lie. And it's things like this that God wants to expose. And so, you know, a lot of times when these things happen, it's so easy for us to be like, what is it about me? What is it about me? But we view it in such a negative way. But God is like, no, like, even if you do have all these things about you that, you know, that are toxic, or, you know, that aren't the best, at the end of the day, like, whatever your past is or whatever, like, that's not who you are. That's not who you truly are in the kingdom of God. That's not truly who God intended you to be. And that's why it's good to start understanding your identity, knowing your identity. Like today, right now, if you don't know your identity, you have to start searching God's word and start going to God, inquiring, God, show me who I am. Show me who I am. Start looking up scriptures and meditating on scriptures about your identity, so you know who you are. So the devil can't keep lying to you and keeping you in a headlock and a chokehold about these lies. So you really know, like, this, you know who you are.